Hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Age Veilguard, where I had to go take a phone call, so now I'm totally distracted from everything. It says, okay, it's like it says to go that way, but we obviously can't do that until we clear some stuff out. Like, also, I wanted to say, like, why am I not, it'd be really cool. Maybe I'm missing things, but like, where's all the cool like warden artifacts? You know what I mean? Like, the library should be the place that has, and maybe there's like an actual archives or something. But like I don't know. Where's like this sword of Galahero? I don't know why that I am mispronouncing it anyway. But in my head, I don't know how it's pronounced. Apparently, the one we just read about, Galarel. And Crookie Tail, like where's there's like the sword or whatever, you know, like where's these ancient warden artifacts of like these massive historical events, you know? There should be so much on display, and I am not seeing anything on display. I mean, we saw my warden chalice, right? And that's what made me think of it too. I was like, wow, we got my warden chalice, and you got a couple scrolls. Like, I should be able to read a ton of things in here. I should be able to find out all kinds of things. Like in these are display cases. Let me have them. Let me at least look at them. I don't want to have them. I just want to look at them. Maybe they're like, people would try to want to take them. I'm like, I don't want to take it. I want to look at it. Hey, it's a chest. Where's the rook on there? Haha. Their chessboards are weird. Look, this should be like a comfortable place of like learning.
That should do it. Let's get
learning and repose. And I'm just so upset. Like, these are comfortable places that are being messed up, and like so much lore and history being ruined. Reworked reports, a journal, much of it purposefully splattered with ink to become illegible. A series of locations in Ferodin suggest the author was keeping track of someone. The final entry remains. 917 Dragon, last location abandoned. Malcolm relocated. When the keys to Darkspawn secrets cannot be lost. 917, that's before the Blight. And this is bad. I don't know, I don't like that, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, this is us rewriting our own history, and then like 1,000 years later, they're like, why can't we find anything about the Griffins? You know, stuff like that. Or why can't we find a solution to this problem? Like, oh, I don't know, maybe somebody was short-sighted back in the day and like totally rewrote your history. Let me see. Oh, it's not, the 5th Blight is in 930. That's even earlier. I thought it was 920. What happened in 920? Do not remember. That's before my time. It's probably from the books. The book that has the wardens in it. I think it's called The Calling. But this is such a perfect vibe for a warden library. Very kind of austere, purposeful. Not like ornamental, except with what like the regalia of their times, you know.
Oh, that griffin statue.
What about it?
I'll get Gillen's attention.
Oh, it's actually just gonna. We're just. Like we're actually just gonna try to fight the Archdemon. Wow.
My Archdemon will close the age of the Great War.
None of I have anything to say about it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm like so sad to see it with like Blight in it, but like, oh, that's incredible. It's incredible. You're evil. You're terrible. You're a terrible person. If I could just... Okay, so if I could just figure out which direction I'm facing. Also, I keep wondering why they're not necessarily getting involved directly, but, like, they're gods, so I think they feel like they have to work through intermediaries, you know? I still don't ever want to touch the Blight. Alright, here goes. I'm gonna... We still haven't addressed the fact that Davern thinks he's gonna die for this.
And now I die.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, I think it's kind of funny.
Hey, Gillenane, come down here and fight.
The Dread Rule's knife. Retrieve it!
I did see that platform over there. We better hope this works. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it? A tiny pressure plate that you hope the dragon, like, steps on? Oh good, now it can hit me with tentacles. This is a... Gillenon's gonna use it as tentacles. No, don't cheer yet. Ooh.
Give a son a hug.
You have... No!
Stand down, Warden. My war, my glory.
You're... Warden.
Wardens were killed on your watch. If you want to die to make up for that, be my guest.
Wasn't asking your permission.
I do feel bad.
As supreme authority of Whitehound, I hereby declare this blight at an end.
Dragon breath. A waste of useful blood. Lassa, Headlin, Galara.
What did she do? She melted her dragon!
Penata, Melas.
See, here I was thinking, Solos was like, I pray you never see what she's done to her dragon. And I was like, it looks like a pretty normal dragon. It looks like a pretty normal dragon. And now it does not look like a normal dragon. Yikes. Also, it's like you've made a sworn enemy of the first warden, and like apparently he just dies. Like, oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Is there like a situation where you keep him alive somehow after that? And I guess it is like I don't know how to say it, but it's like his right, sort of, as first warden, to not a right to die, but it is his responsibility to make it so that it's not anybody else's need to die, like any other wardens need to die, right? So like he also gets to put his name down in the history books, and he's not the most glorious of wardens to have ever like killed an archdemon, which apparently he didn't get to anyway. But it's like one of those things, like, right, like, do you want your name to go down in history as the first warden that was punched in the face and then came out just in time to like stab the archdemon? But like at least then he wouldn't live with the shame of having not completed his job, right? And like, and it's like it's not about him. It shouldn't be about him. It should be about other people, you know? Like, his wardens. It should be about his wardens. Like, the highest authority warden, I think, is supposed to be the one that, like, sacrifices himself. In Origins, there's a warden who comes in who can help you in the late game, and he says, I will do it. I will kill the archdemon because I'm the elder warden here. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want the younger wardens doing it. Because it's, you know, the older wardens are going to die kind of soon anyway. And, like, I don't know, like, they've lived... To them, right, they were like, I've lived my life, like, with honor, and, like, I want you guys to carry on. Like, I need the younger ones need to keep things going forward. You know what I mean? And really, if your choice is to die in the deep roads against a darkspawn horde or die to an archdemon, like I think I'd rather, you know, die to an archdemon.
The real Archdemon.
Is this gonna work if I do this? Oh, okay, that worked. I was like, oh, what? There we go. This thing is wait, no. Oh god, I was trying to get a picture. This thing is so gross. Oh. Holy moly. It's a normal dragon. Oh, wait, I should get Gillen on in there. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And she's spooky. She's even... I keep thinking she's, like, just, like, slightly taller than, like, your average human because she's, like, 2 humans tall or something. But no, she's, like, what? Like, 15 meters tall? Like... Well, you get... We'll say Emmerich's, like... Emmerich's probably not 2 meters tall, but we'll say he's 2 meters tall. What? Okay, maybe she's like 10 meters tall, but like still, if she stood up on her tentacles, she'd be super tall. You know what I mean? Like still, that's really, really tall. It's super, not just twice as tall as your average like entity, right? She's so tall and big. She's big, like gross. Oh, this is like a super heroic one of us. Some of my photos haven't been turning out. Like I don't know if there's like a setting that yeah, like lens distortion's off. And sometimes they're really blurry, though. Maybe autofocus is the issue? Okay. Back to fighting. Dang it. Where's Tosh? Uh-huh.
What's going on?
Spooked Gillenane. Maybe she wants to talk.
Talk! Oh yeah, she's a talker, alright. Her favorite thing. I'm really sad hearing the elven... What is this? This reminds me of freaking Willow. I loved that movie growing up, but like, I keep being distracted by my face off in the corner. I loved Willow growing up, but there was like 3 or more parts in that movie that I had memorized that I would just like walk out of the room, even when I was a little kid. And like, I'm like, Dad, let's watch Willow. And he's like, you're not even in here for half the movie. And I'm like, I love Willow. And like, I would always leave. My mom thought it was so funny because she'd just see me come into the kitchen and like wait. And then like, after a bit, I'd leave and I'd do it again. And she finally figured out what was going on, is that I was leaving at certain times and I had memorized how long it was. And then I would like sneak back in and be like, okay, you know. But this is the part at the end when the troll, like whatever thing, like falls into the water or something and like becomes like cursed and like, and it becomes like a 3-headed monster thing. And, like, it was so nasty. Like, the CGI was bad back then, but whatever they did to that, like, it's like Origins, right? Where the Darkspawn were scarier in Origins than they've ever been in any of the rest of the games. 2, they're pretty similar to Origins. But, like, Origins, they were, like, really horrifying looking. And I think it's partly because the old graphics work with how nasty they are, how terrible looking they are. And it's the same thing in Willow. It scared me so bad. I hated that scene so much. This reminds me of that.
Time you left, Gillenane. You can't win this.
Phase 3. Why doesn't she... Again, I'm like, just come down here and do it yourself. But like, I think as a god, like she feels like she has to act like one, right? Like someone says in Inquisition, this is my worst nightmare! It's my nightmare! Time to take a picture of it. Oh my gosh. Davrin's just like, haha, teehee. Oh no! See? No, no, no. I always mess that up. Worst nightmare. Not Gillenon, but these things. Being a three-headed monster coming out of a moat. Yikes! I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. But yeah, I think Solus says that a god doesn't need to prove themselves in Inquisition. It's like, well, I think it's like we can ask him, like, how do you know he's not a real god, or something like that. And he's like, the key thing to remember is this: a real god will not feel the need to prove itself to you, or something like that. Like it. And I was always like, oh, okay, sick. I messed up.
We've angered one of them.
Who knew the trap would be the easy part?
It's Gillinane's last stand. We can do this.
Are you telling me that we're gonna, like, if it's this easy, I'm gonna be shocked.
That did it, Davrin.
Like, if we kill Gillenon this early, I'm gonna be upset. I can't even reach them. This is, like, wild. You know, like... I think the only one who can reach him really is Emmerich.
Honest? Where are you? I'm here.
Oh!
Be ready to take your shot.
Be ready! I'll kill the Archdemon. You take out Gillinane.
Ah!
Davrin! Kill it!
What? I'm okay with that? I'm okay with Davrin dying? What? I don't get a choice in this?
Now Lucanus! Finish her!
Oh, he's so badass, though. Yeah, we have one shot.
Let's go!
Give me another shot.
Too late! Back to the Alluvion!
Yeah, I give you another shot. What? You want to try to get to her through that?
Is it working?
I hope so.
Best odds all day!
Practice vigilance, found peace wanting, and witnessed the... I mean, she could just get through that Alluvion. Or maybe she's not allowed to get into the crossroads somehow right now, really, but I don't know.
Evka sent word. Last of the civilians made it to Lavendel. Janos and his people held the line long enough for them to escape Weishaupt. And the Wardens are in Lavendel too.
What's left of them, you mean? Over 1,000. That's how many fellow Wardens I had. And now, one god, one Archdemon. That's all it took to nearly wipe out our entire order.
Yeah. This one's rough. Like, I think the last two games, they're like, we're gonna make the Wardens suffer. And I'm like, they've suffered enough, please. Stop. You know. Oh. And the problem is, my big thing with the Wardens is, like, so many of them died. It's almost like when people who have an oral history, like when, like, the elders or too many of them die at once, and there's no way to recover, like, that much knowledge with all the people dying. Like, so much is lost. And, like, the thing here with the Wardens, like, yes, they have a written history, walk through the library, like, you know, they have stuff written down, but as we saw, they rewrite things sometimes, or they'll cover things up, and a lot of the stuff is, like, known only to a few, and then passed down, like some of it's just not written down at all. There's, like, a few things that, like, a few senior Wardens will know, and they pass it down, like, very carefully, very rigorously to the next ones. So, like, we probably just lost, like, a bunch of, like, I don't know, specific recipes on how to do the joining, or, like, you know, like, specific tactics on certain things. Like, maybe not like stuff like that. That's pretty general, like stuff that all wardens should know. But there were secrets. Like there's a whole DLC in Dragon Age 2 about like this particular secret the wardens are keeping. It's Corypheus locked up in a tower in the Free Marches. You know, who becomes the villain in the next game. And like not every warden knows about that. Very few, in fact, know about that. You know. So it's just one of those things where like the loss of life is so much heavier because there were so many secrets bound up in people's heads, and there's no way to get that now. I mean, in this world, maybe we could ask Fade spirits for it, but like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. Why haven't we thought, like, I wonder if the wardens have tried to like search the Fade for anybody or for any spirit that might know how to take care of griffins or like raise griffins. That's something. But I'm so sad. I'm so sad. They died heroes always feels empty to me. It's like they died heroes. Well, they're still dead, and they died. Some of them afraid. Most of them in pain. You know, like does dying a hero. What is it? Again, Javik says, freaking Davrin's voice actor says, stand on the ashes of 1 trillion dead souls and tell me does honor matter to them, and the silence is the answer. You know what I mean? Like there is. That's one way to look at it. It's a very, not defeatist, sort of not nihilistic way to look at it. Understandable in some circumstances. But, like, I don't know. The wardens, they die for a cause. And even if, like, nothing, even if it doesn't succeed, there's still something to that death and a try. You know, and I think that's worth something in and of itself. But I'm gonna be sad about it.
Those wardens fulfilled their oaths. They saved lives. Heroes, all of them. If not for them, how many civilians would have died?
And death, sacrifice.
Yeah.
The warden's oath.
Right.
But it starts with in-war victory. I don't have much hope for victory here.
We killed her Archdemon, though. That's something, isn't it?
That's an incredibly rare accomplishment.
Yeah. After it turned into a snake monster with too many heads. Are all blighted dragons gonna do that? I don't know how to fight that.
She's like, if I'm the dragon lady.
At least we've made Gillenane mortal.
Mortal or immortal, doesn't matter if we can't get close enough. We had our shot at her, and we missed.
Say what you mean, Davrin.
Yeah.
I missed.
Nobody blames you for that.
She
Lucanus.
used a blight tentacle.
Yeah? Maybe I do. This crow has a demon inside him, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, that's not...
How do we know we can trust him? Maybe the demon pulled his punches.
Okay, hold on. Now we're getting...
And you, Warden?
Yeah!
What about the blight that runs through your veins?
I was like, he's gonna bring that up.
The same blight that Gillenane commands so effortlessly.
Oh, now we're trying to...
Just a moment, please.
Enough.
It's one of those things where we're nitpicking at each other, right? And like the undermining starts happening. It's like, this is what they want, right? Ooh, honor the dead. I think we're gonna have to do honor the dead still because we're a Warden Watch. But yeah, I'm glad Varric's here. Me. And like, where's Blackwall? Like, because in my save, I made Blackwall a full warden. Like, is he still alive? Like, was he there or was he elsewhere? I'm assuming, and I was telling my sister earlier, I was like, I'm assuming most of the wardens I know are actually still in Ferelden. I know the first warden recalled a bunch of them, but he couldn't leave them. Those had to be like the wandering wardens, right? Like, there's ones that just wander. But you couldn't remove them with like the blight growing. Like, why would you bring them all into one place? You know what I mean? There have to be others in Orlais and Ferelden and elsewhere. There's outposts in every country, you know, and so it's just like there's still more. This is not decimating the whole of the wardens, just the heart of the wardens, you know. But we also don't want to be like, this is doing the gods' work for them, to be like, oh, who can we trust? You know what I mean? Like, or maybe it's Solus. Maybe he's trying to undermine us. Or it's just natural people instinct, you know? Start pushing blame.
Hundreds of wardens died today. They gave their lives to stand against the gods. We owe it to them to carry on. Swing your blades to the enemy, not each other. We will honor their sacrifices by holding together in this fight.
We're all in agreement on that point, Roke. But the question remains, how? We barely survived against one of the gods.
I nearly had her.
Nearly. But you and Spite are not of one mind, Lucanus. Fighting for control, it's no wonder you missed such a rare opportunity.
They seemed fine.
I think we've all been distracted.
I've been preoccupied myself after discovering that hand of glory.
And I can't stop worrying about my new magic and what it means.
The Nodists are fallen? What it means for my people?
Until those problems are resolved, we will not be prepared to face the gods.
Yes, thank you. I know how
A
companion
moment of
quests
inattention,
work.
a single lapse could prove fatal, and the gods will allow no second chances.
He's right, Rook.
I do think it's funny. I mean, this is just how companion quests work in Mass Effect 2 specific, or Mass Effect 2 and 3, like Mass Effect specifically. If you don't do the companion quest, like, it's not just a loyalty thing. It's trying to like get people to relax, or like in 2 specifically, it's to like help people with like their big regret, like something to tie up loose ends before we go on a suicide mission, you know. And so if you do that, it actually increases their chances for survival because they don't have a regret hanging over their heads, you know what I mean? And you can fight clear-headed. So I get it, but it's also like, I'm like, you guys, surely nobody was thinking of that during the fight just now, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't going, the Nodist Urthala, like, you know what I mean?
We can't afford to stumble. The gods will jump on that in a heartbeat. We must be ready for them. That said, we need to find them first. Harding, can you send word to Evka? See if she has any rested scouts.
Scouts? Why?
The Darkspawn that attacked Weishaupt had to come from somewhere. I bet they'll be headed back there. Following them should at least put us on the gods' trail.
Got it.
As for the rest of...
Look, nothing against Emmerich. He's right about needing focus. But what happened at Weishaupt? That was more than a distraction.
So is what happened to Minrathous. What the Venatori have done. What they're still doing.
These are more than distractions, Rook.
Either way,
Okay.
we all need to step back. Clear our heads.
Why do I feel like that went poorly? They're mad at me! Why are they mad at me?
How do you think that went?
Badly!
Davrin was still upset there at the end.
So was Nev!
That's his right, after the horrors at Weishaupt, but I hoped I'd gotten through to him.
They stopped fighting when you told them to. That's something.
You're standing right here.
Hendrik's right, though. Everyone on this team has some kind of unfinished business hanging over their heads.
Yes, I understand.
That's the danger in recruiting competent people. They bring more interesting and complicated problems along with them.
That's a good way to
so
put it.
go help Rook. Support them. Solve those problems. And maybe start with Davrin and Lucanus. Or even Nev. She's taking Minrathous hard.
And the gods?
You've asked the Wardens to track them through the Darkspawn. That'll take time.
I should use that time to check in with the team.
Yeah, I get it.
And then, I should go talk with Solus.
Yeah, I get it.
Better you than me. He'll want to know all about Gillenane, the Archdemon, and why you only stopped one of them.
Well, thanks, Dad.
You know, all this talking wears me out.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to take a nap.
You know, you could
See
just...
you later, kid. Good luck.
I don't know. He could just, like, say, you know what, like, you know, I can't interfere at this point. Like, things have gone too far. I'll be here to support you, but I'm not gonna, like, take over. And instead of just keep telling me that you're taking a nap. Like, come on, Grandpa. You know what I mean? Everyone's bond increase. Yeah, you'd fool me. Lucanus, Nev, and Davrin, who all, by the way, approved of what I done and punching the warden, are mad at me. I mean, Lucanus wounded Gillenane, and I didn't see, like, there was not a discrepancy, I think, between the two of them. Like, Spite did a really great job, like, giving Lucanus the wings to get up there. Like, I hadn't even thought about that. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, that, like, well, how do we get him up there? I'm like, I don't know, but he has freaking wings. But, like, it looked like Gillenane, like, maybe I just missed something in the cutscene, but, like, she saw him coming at the last second and, like, threw up a blight tentacle, you know, and, like, tossed him off. You know, and then he landed so epically. I was like, oh my goodness. But, like... And we killed an Archdemon. Solus is gonna be... I don't want to get reprimanded by Solus. Okay, do I? Oh, he. Go. Do I want to get that over first, or do I want to check in with my teammates? Maybe like you let the teammates cool off, and I give Solus the bad news, and then I'm grumpy the rest of the time. He'll probably be like, "I knew it," and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, we have the Bandoliers, right? And I have the Necrosis one, but like." These other Bandoliers do the same thing as the Necrosis one. This one applies bleeding. This one applies burning. How many hours are we in? What episode am I on? Maybe I'll edit that out. This is convenient. I guess. Oh my goodness. Listen, I just really like the Necrosis one. It fits my vibe, and for the most part it works against enemies. Except Darkspawn. Oh, I think my my level went down overall with Emmerich. I thought I had him up pretty high, but because of the disapproval, is that this? I don't think that's this. I think the disapproval meter is hidden somewhere else. I don't know. I have to ask my sister maybe. I think my responsibility, I've been leveling things up and doing things, but I think my responsibility is primarily to my people. Then I can go talk to Solus. He's not like my supervisor, you know? So I'll talk to him last. We're getting to the point where I'm willing to, like, we're going to get, level 35 is when I want to try to fight the dragon again with Mythal this time. What? Oh, completing your companion's quest will bring them closer to becoming a hero of the Veilguard. Reaching this point in their journey will ensure that they are focused when the time to defeat the gods once and for all. When it is time. New quests become available as you advance the companion's story by having Veilguard conversations at the lighthouse. That's so cool. So that's going to be the abilities, right, that we have for them. Yeah, whatever these are that have been locked up to this point, you know. All right. We'll start. I'm like, I want to do it all in one episode. I don't.
Oh, hi, Rook. Can I ask you a question? Actually, never mind.
What?
Don't worry about it.
What?
Okay, you're several lines ahead of me here. Let's start with me saying, hi, Bellara.
Hi!
Right. Okay. It's just, you know, the elf thing.
Which one?
We're fighting our gods.
Yeah.
Our gods. It feels a little surreal, and I know surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an adjustment. Whole lot of elven customs are feeling kind of weird right now.
I'm worried about our people. Or more like how other people see us. Maybe people don't trust us. Maybe they shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was like, we're not our gods, and we haven't been able to access our gods in millennia, you know, anyway, you know, but at least we're having a little bit of like a personal, like, I'm having a crisis of faith. It's ancient history is such a dumb way to say it. Ancient history is extremely valuable and freaking, what is the word? It's freaking, it's applicable to current times. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, because it's old, it doesn't matter anymore. It matters a lot. Just because something happened a long time ago doesn't mean the effects aren't going to trickle down throughout the centuries. You know what I mean? Even if, like, I don't know, in just small ways that we don't even notice. But my big thing is we're not our gods. But, like, people aren't going to understand that. I can say this till I'm blue in the face. But, like, people aren't going to understand that, and they will blame us for it.
Our gods aren't us. We can't judge people by their rulers, especially if those rulers are tyrants. Elves haven't been like that for centuries.
That feels too easy. Like we're not taking responsibility.
For what?
And I don't know. I feel guilty. Anytime I think about it, really.
Oh, not a crisis of faith.
Helping?
Who's what helping?
Feeling guilty.
Well, no one, I guess, but then what should I do?
Okay, here's the thing. So it's like, oh man, I feel guilty about all this. Not a crisis of faith. I mean, it's a little bit of a crisis of faith, but it's like, you feel guilty? Okay, it's like I don't know, it's like maybe we don't deserve it, you know what I mean? Or like maybe we deserve, like we aren't taking responsibility. What do you mean? Elves have suffered for centuries now. Like since the fall of Elvenon, there was like a small like after everyone was freed and they were given the Dales by Andraste, they had a freaking crusade sent against them and they were back down again. So twice now in the last like 1,000 years at least. Like the elves have been wandering. The elves have been stuck in alienages and slums. Like, what do you mean you haven't been taking responsibility? It wasn't your responsibility to take anyway, but you still suffered. So if you want to look at it like that, if like you have to think that there has to be some sort of scale here, that like the elves need to pay for the sins of their fathers, of their creators, right? Then like I guess you could say they have tenfold because of everything they've gone through as a group, as like a cultural group, you know? Like, there's no scales to balance in this. It's not our fault, and it's not it's not the elves' fault. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is one of those things where it's just like, I get it. Like, if you feel guilty for things because it's like terrible things have happened, and it's like it's people that were sort of related to you that did it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you can. It's my thing. It's different. Maybe it's maybe gonna be a little political. There's like the white people guilt, right? Where it's like, you know, oh, I feel so bad for things my ancestors did. Whoa. And it's like, yes, acknowledge that. But the thing is what you have to acknowledge is that right now we live in a society that tends to benefit white people more than other groups, right? So like you can feel white guilty about it, but it feels sanctimonious because it's like you're still benefiting from it. Like you still got the job. And this other guy, the black guy didn't, or whatever, you know what I mean? Simply, your resumes were the same, but because you had a white name, you got it, you know what I mean? And so it's like one of those things where, I don't know, so to me, that's like feeling, that's like the cultural guilt, which is a thing. I'm like, it's better than the alternative where you're like, we did nothing wrong. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and like, maybe that sounds like you as a person have done nothing wrong necessarily, especially when like, I don't know, I'm getting off track here. It's one thing, I guess, it's a different thing for like a group of people who like are like, I am part of the group of people that did the conquering. I'm a descendant of colonizers, you know what I mean? And like, I feel really bad about that, but you're still benefiting from that. It's another thing to be in this situation, an elf, and you're like, I feel so bad because our people used to be terrible and conquerors. And it's like, but you're saying that, well, your people have suffered and been enslaved for like 1,000 years. You know what I mean? Like, because terrible things happen to a completely different group, essentially a completely different group of people that you kind of descend from, and like, yeah, they did bad things, but now it's not like you're benefiting from it in any way, you know what I mean? Like, so the guilt there feels way different than like somebody who feels guilty who's still benefiting from a system that like their ancestors set up that was designed to benefit them, you know what I mean? I don't know, I'm not like saying it very well, but like, there's a difference here, and like why she's feeling guilty for things that happened so long ago that she had absolutely nothing to do with, and that her people also suffered in. The elves also suffered. That's another thing, right? Is the elves themselves suffered. Not all of them. The Empire did beautiful, wonderful things, and like so many people were so talented and did crazy, wonderful things. But like some of them were slaves and turned into things they didn't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just feels weird. I'm gonna hopefully edit that like a bit, because like it was definitely going like blah, blah, blah. Okay, so your guilt, who does it benefit? No one, I guess, but then what should I do? Don't take the easy lies. I mean, I think this is sort of bigger than like keep fighting the gods or do nothing because you didn't do anything wrong. But like, if there is something you can change, like it's acknowledging is like the first step, right? But it's not like she has to go around repairing terrible things that her people have done, because the people the elves are now are completely different than they were back then, and they did completely different things. You know what I mean? I'm like, but don't take the easy lies feels like something good too, where it's like, you know, don't get complacent is what it feels like. I'm torn on this one. I kind of want to say do nothing, because I feel like it's like you didn't do anything wrong. But I don't know if that's going to help. That's not what she's looking for, I think. So let's see.
It'd be easy to pretend that stories about the benevolent elven gods were true, but we know they weren't.
So what do we do to make up for them, I mean?
Be honest. About our history, but also about who we are now. We're more than our ancient past.
Is it that easy, though? Just being honest?
Honesty's hard work, but it's the right kind of work. It's important work.
Right. I get it. It's hard. All of it's hard. But I feel better. A little bit, anyways. Thanks for talking to me and listening to me.
Hey, anytime. It's what I'm here for.
I keep saying
Right.
that.
It's a good thing to be here for. See you later, Rook.
I might redo that. I don't think there's nothing like I don't know. It's not the we did nothing wrong thing. It's like I said, it's a completely different paradigm where if you're a descendant of a people that like oppress other people and then like you're benefiting from the system, it's like maybe there are reparations to be made, right? In some ways, right? Like I feel that that's fair, but like. To be like, we've been the oppressed people for so long, but like 2,000 years ago, our creators were kind of dicks to everyone, and we should make up for that. I'm like, no, you shouldn't. You should not. You were also oppressed, and it's like not you, but like I don't know, many of the elves were also oppressed and enslaved at that time. I'm gonna redo that. I'm gonna save, just in case, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna redo that. All right, I'm gonna try it.
Don't do anything. Just give it your best. That's all any of us can do.
I like to think that we're making things right.
What?
But can we even do that? After what our people did?
It was,
The Evanuris did those things. And they did them to our people.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's hard.
Okay,
All of it's hard. But I feel better. A little bit. Thanks.
Hey, anytime.
Right. See you later.
Oh, hey, she approved. I don't know if she approved at the end of the last one. But yeah, no, that one had a better sentiment to it, so I'm gonna stick with that because I was just like, you don't like it's not our people also suffered. You have nothing to make up for. You are not a group whose the society has been built around to benefit at this point. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I need to sit up straight. Also, like, I get it. Balara is, like, coded to be, at the very least, ADHD. And potentially slightly autistic. It's like, I get, and, like, at least very socially not great at things. But, like, it really bugs me, even in real life, when people are like, can I ask you something? Or what do you, I don't know. It's something, like, where she was like, you know, I have a question. And she's like, oh, never mind. And it happens constantly, and I just want to, like, grab, like, slowly reach out and be like, tell me! I mean, I'm sure I've done it before, too, because, like, you're like, you want to ask something, and then you're like, no, wait, no, it's bad, I just don't even want to work. But, of course, when you say that, people are going to be like, well, tell me, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not performative, but it can kind of feel that way, and it's like, I'm like, but it's easy enough for me to be like, you know, just do things the social proper way or whatever, you know, when I don't necessarily have those issues. So, like, you know, but still, I'm still like,
Lucanus, are you in here brooding?
I'm fine.
That's not a no.
Cut her. She should have never gotten away from me. This was our contract, Rook. I don't fail my contracts.
I think the thing is that I think I'm just gonna flirt until I get things figured out I really wanted to, I think I gotta get somebody else to romance Tosh someday, because I want to romance her so bad, but she's a little immature, and I'm just like, I need to, like, make somebody for her that's maybe closer in my head to her age, you know? But, like, I don't know, I haven't gone back to look at the video, but I'm like, did something specifically happen that, like, Spite did something? Or, like, I think it was just like I don't know, we also chucked an assassin at a god in her face. Like I was like, that's not gonna work. Like I said it like 30 minutes prior, and then like that's just what we did, is he flew right at her, and I was like, and throwing the dagger was cool, and his flying scene was very cool, but I was just like, you're just gonna fly right at her, and then hope for the best, you know. And I don't know, we have to come up with a better plan than just let's do our best, you know.
Forget about Gillenane.
That's why I'm here.
I know, but I'm just happy you didn't get killed out there.
You shouldn't go easy on me. Mistakes get people killed.
You're an assassin. So do successes.
I thought I still had this. Whatever else I am, I'm a professional. After the ossuary, I thought at least I could still take out a target.
She's a god.
I need to work.
Yeah, we're up against gods.
Gillenane was a giant face in the clouds, Lucanus. I asked you to stab a cloud.
Yeah.
And I missed the damn cloud.
My point is, that was impossible, and you still almost did it. That's not small.
It's too early, guy.
I was distracted. That cannot happen again. I need to get my head on straight.
Whatever you need to do.
Have you been to talk to the others? Davrin, especially. I think everyone might have things to deal with now.
Oh.
I should check in with the crows. Whatever the word is, I'll let you know. There's
That was
nothing
kind
like
of
work
him.
to focus the mind.
Awkward silence. Sick. Love it. It was kind of him. I think they spoke harshly to one another. And did not maybe mean to. At least Lucanus is able to be like, you know, at this point. I should have talked to Davrin first, but it kind of freaked me out that, Valara had like an exclamation, or like a timed exclamation point. I was like, oh geez, you know. So I ran in there, and then I was just like, oh, Lucanus is there, but I need to go straight to Davrin right now. Okay, well, first, actually, I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I hope you guys are enjoying. Now we're in the drama part, and now we get to really up the ante on people's quests and get to know them better. So I'm excited for that, but thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Really quick, I'm going to cut away and say thank you to my patrons. I want to say thank you to all my patrons, starting out with my Acorn tier patrons. Thank you so much, Fane, for your support, and thank you so much, Leo, for your support. If I say that wrong, I'm so sorry. I want to give an extra special shout out to my Sapling tier patrons. Thank you so much, Reese Galito, for your support. I very much appreciate it, and I still appreciate the blanket. Thank you. And I really want to say thank you to my other supporter, Sebastian James, my old friend. Thank you so much for your support. I very much appreciate you as well. And I want to give an extra special shout out to my Forest tier patrons who have gone above and beyond in their support of me and the channel, and who I truly cannot thank enough. So thank you so much, Christopher, as always, for your support. I treasure it a lot. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Nightshade, for joining the crew up there in the forest. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. So thank you all again for joining me and for being on Patreon and watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.